got me cornered. I'm low on ammo. If you can hear me, I'm on sub-level 9. News station.
Sup guys, Hokey here, bringing you the Noob's Guide to Legendary for the 7th mission of the Halo 3 ODST campaign, Data Hive. Alright, so let me preface this mission off by saying that you may start with a variety of different weapons, especially if you've just come from the road to Data Hive from Mombasa streets, in which case you may have a fuel rod gun and a beam rifle. If you start the mission fresh, you'll have a pistol and an SMG. However, I can guarantee that you can find a shotgun and a plasma pistol on the ground, so no matter what you have, you could go with those two weapons, and pretty much anything else is going to be easier. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll with a shotgun and a plasma pistol for the beginning of this mission until I find a carbine to replace the plasma pistol. You should have little trouble with that first encounter as long as you don't just charge right up to them and you actually use some cover. The jackals out here may give you a little more problems, but that is why you have a plasma pistol. You can EMP their shields if need be. And the nice thing about Data Hive, and why I consider it to be one of the easiest missions in the entire campaign, is because there are health packs everywhere on this mission. Alright, so this is probably going to be your first problem spot, although not really. If you're ready for them, you'll see the Covenant run through that doorway and you can get them with a fusion coil. If you're not ready for them, just back up in the doorway and let them come to you. Now, the brutes will at first charge your position, but if you take out a certain number of the jackals, I think it's like 2 of them, the brutes will actually retreat and they won't charge you down. Instead, they'll wait for you further up ahead.
This way! We have it trapped!
Do it, Virgil, now!
Construction ahead. Expect delay.
I'm gonna die, you hear me?
Now that was sloppy simply because I didn't see the brute off to my right, even though I should have, but I made it work anyway with the shotgun. The thing about the shotgun is that you need to treat it like the weapon that it is, and not like the weapon that you want it to be. It's not the all-powerful brute slayer. It's going to take 2 shots to break their armor and 2 shots to kill them once their armor is down, and less than that if you add in some melee attacks. It's not the all-powerful god weapon from Halo 1. You just have to treat it like what it is. Now, like I've been saying for most of the campaign, brute weapons will vary, and in this case I did find some brute shots. If you do find a brute with a brute shot, grab the brute shot for this encounter.
Thanks, Trooper, they almost had me. Been trying to get down to the next level checking my team, but this stack is locked down tight.
Welcome. Access granted.
Huh. Guess you have the magic touch.
So if you have a brute shot, just use that to unload on the drones here. If you don't, toss a grenade right here, ricochet it off of the actual stack, and that'll give you the correct timing to take them all out.
What's wrong with you, Virgil? You trying to get me killed?
Warning. Hitchhikers may be escaped convicts.
Now I don't know if you've had a pistol up to this point, But down here you can find a carbine, so now you should have a headshot weapon. No excuses.
Can't see a damn thing. You go first.
The two drones out here shouldn't pose you any problems, especially since you now have a carbine. It's just a little tricky to hit their head. Sometimes you're going to need to unload about half your clip until they fall.
We got a bug problem. Son of a bitch. These are my guys. The bugger's got all of them. Now I gotta check on the dock myself.
Further up ahead, you're going to have your standard squad of one brute leading grunts. You can take them out from here, or you can head through the tunnels and flank them with the shotgun, whichever you like.
Is that all of them? What are you doing down here, anyway? Don't want to tell me? That's all right. We all got secrets.
There's enough shotgun ammo in here to give you a full shotgun. That's 30 plus full clip, even if you're starting from empty. Outside, however, you're going to have a couple of brute stalkers. And going up against maulers with a shotgun is probably not the greatest idea in the world. You probably want to use your carbine for some ranged combat so that you don't have to deal with those maulers. You can, however, use that police officer guy as a very effective distraction. He's an invincible bullet sponge and will effectively get their fire off of you if need be. At the very least, he'll be a minor distraction. At best, he can sometimes get their attention so well that they'll turn around and then you can just come up on them and assassinate them. If you recognize this room and you're ready for them, you can get the drones as they come through that doorway with a grenade. If you're not ready for them, just back up and retreat to this doorway where you entered and take them out with the carbine from here. They really can't get you back here. You'll find carbine ammo on the ground, so load up, and then if you need it, find the health pack in the corner of the room.
Seal all exits from the lower levels.
Nicely done.
This is one of those times where the brutes will actually try to come out of these tunnels and charge you down, and you just have to wait for them at the entrance. Grenades work very well in the confined space, especially those incendiary grenades dropped by the brute stalkers. If necessary, feel free to get creative. Drop your shotgun for a plasma pistol or plasma rifle to strip armor.
Damn fine work. Good work, people.
More of the same here, really. Just recognize when the brutes are going to charge you down and when they're going to wait for you. And if they're going to charge you down, wait outside the doorway and take them out with the shotgun and sticky grenades. Here's another good example of an aggressive pack of brutes. Now notice when a brute goes to throw a grenade, he can't move. So that's an excellent opportunity for you to throw your own grenade and stick him as he's throwing his. Remember how I said about using that police officer guy as a distraction? It still applies here.
You're going down to level 9 too. Huh. Guess I could use some backup.
Welcome. Access granted.
Okay, here's where things will start to vary. If you have collected all 29 audio logs found throughout the city of New Mombasa, as is the case here, the police officer guy will actually come down this data stack with you. If you have not, there is a scripted event where he will stay up there and be killed by drones. If he comes with you, he's once again invincible and you can use him as a distraction, but at no point during the upcoming combat do I actually need him and rely on him. So everything I'm about to demonstrate is easily possible even without him. Now, this starts off as a single brute leading grunts, but there's a brute pack that comes from around the corner. And I'd be lying if I said that I could recommend the shotgun here. You could use it, but it just makes things harder. Grab yourself a plasma pistol or a plasma rifle for a ranged armor stripper.
Keep the pack together. It may not be over for the pack.
Especially in a case like this where they retreat back around the corner after you take out a couple of them, there's really not enough cover around that corner to go at them using a shotgun. Use your plasma combo, whichever you want. Plasma pistol, plasma rifle. In this case, I've got a plasma rifle.
Alert! Enemy contact!
Last up, you'll have a chieftain carrying a plasma turret. You actually can take him out pretty easily by just getting in his face. All you need is a single melee attack to stun him, then swing around his back and assassinate him.
Trooper, hold up a sec. I gotta check on a little personnel issue.
Crime scene. Restricted entry.
Shut up, Virgil! You hear me?
Icy conditions. Chains required.
Freaking machine. The whole city's gone to hell. Wait here, watch for hostiles. I'll be back.
Now, like I said before, everything that's happening now with this police officer guy will only happen if you've collected all 29 audio logs in New Mombasa. So while he goes to do his thing, I'm going to go back for my shotgun and then I'm going to meet up with him.
Are you stupid? I told you to stay outside. Step away from there. This ain't none of your business. Kinsler gave me real specific instructions. Make sure the doc's dead, and make double sure no one knows about it.
Caution, traveler. Caution.
Sorry, friend. You know way too much.
Crime doesn't pay. Good citizens do their part.
And then this is the location of the 30th and final audio log to get the audio file achievement. Once you're all finished with that, head over to the left, grab a health pack from the wall and the flamethrower. This is the only point in the game where you can find a flamethrower, and I decide to take advantage of it.
fuck? Who knows if you can hear me, but... I'm sorry. Should have told you more about this mission. More about everything.
These are the first enemies you'll encounter after you pick up the flamethrower. I like to head over to the left here and take out the brute first, and this provides a pretty good place where you can get close enough to them that you can use the flamethrower. Now, I like to use the flamethrower for most of the enemies in this room, especially the jackals and drones, but you can use the carbine to take them out from range if need be. And just a little comment about the flamethrower, just because the reticle doesn't turn red doesn't mean they're out of range. The effective range of the flamethrower is a little further than that reticle indicates. Anyway, once all the enemies are dead, the superintendent will unlock the door for you, grab a health pack before you proceed, and then hit the button to start the cutscene.
It's you. I thought... Never mind. What was your name again? Inside, now! This way, and stay quiet. Some idiots blew the building at the top of the shaft. Woke the whole hive. Down there, that's the superintendent, the AI that runs every system in the city. My mission, our mission, is to secure the superintendent's data. Problem is, there's only one way in from here, right through the hive. It would have been suicide to go alone, and I was hoping for more backup. But I guess you're it. You've been solo since we dropped. Fighting on the surface? Unless you spent all night hiding in your pod, you must know your stuff. Show me.
So, if you brought the flamethrower with you, it will carry over through that cutscene, which is nice because I like to keep using it. I also didn't cover this in the last encounter, but notice how I'm using the flamethrower. One burst is really all it takes for any enemy except brutes. You don't really need to hold down the trigger and overheat the flamethrower because that uses up its ammo really, really quickly.
Take one of these.
Now, another comment about this section is that you could give Dare a different weapon than her pistol, but there's really no need to do so. Her pistol is probably her best weapon for her since she essentially has a bottomless clip with it and an unbelievably fast fire rate, so she can put out a lot of bullets really quickly. Doesn't make her any more useful, but it's probably her best option.
Right there!
So, more of the same here, just use the flamethrower the same way that you would use a shotgun. Dart in and out of cover and make sure you don't just charge right up to them if they're shooting at you.
Reloading. have to jump.
There are health packs both at the top and bottom of this jump.
You first, Trooper. Into the hole.
For this encounter, you should be able to just steamroll through all these guys with your flamethrower. Just don't miss.
Careful.
Alrighty, and that is about gonna do it for the flamethrower.
Getting warmer. We must be right under the hive. Head across the bridge. Let's see if we can find a way up.
Now, in this area here, you can find beam rifles in the dispensers, but I really don't find them to be terribly useful. You can find carbine ammo, which is very useful to load up on your carbine, but I just stick with my shotgun. You don't really need a beam rifle, as I'm about to demonstrate.
I found an elevator. Come to me.
Elevator up. Next stop.
Bugger Central.
So here we are at everybody's favorite section of this mission, the Hive. And I don't really know why this section gets so much hate. It's really not all that hard when you realize that the drones are not infinitely respawning. They only respawn twice. And it seems like they only spawn with a fraction of their normal health, because you can take them out in one shot even if you don't hit the head. They're really, really easy to take out. And so just watch where they spawn from and take them all out before they even get close enough to shoot you. Other than that, follow Dare and just stick with her. She won't really contribute much, but she doesn't need to. These guys are easy enough on their own. This path that she takes also takes you past some pretty useful carbine suspensors, so load up on ammo when you can.
Great shot. We can't go back. We have to keep pushing through. Good shooting, Trooper. Keep it up. We're almost there.
Frag out. Butter, get to work. Back off.
Now the only thing to say here is that at the end here there's a drone major. He has a recharging energy shield and fights with a plasma rifle, but since there's only one of him, he's not even a threat. And there you go, that's the Hive. That was pretty easy. If you're having trouble with that, just realize that you don't need to run through it. Just take your time and shoot them all. They're not infinitely respawning, they only spawn twice at most.
Won't be long before they smash them. Let's take them out now.
So there's a couple different ways you can do this. My preferred way is to just sneak up on them and assassinate them all. If you catch the brute chieftain's attention, well, then you're going to need some fancy footwork, but you can still assassinate him.
You will.
stuff.
Once they're all taken out, retrieve the gravity hammer from the chieftain, if nothing else, as a trophy, but I actually like to use it, and then hit the button on the door to start the cutscene.
Nice and slow. Check your corners. We've seen them before on other ops, but we've never gotten this close. Best we can tell, they're prisoners or slaves. Either way, they don't like the Covenant any more than we do. The slipspace event fried most of the superintendent's circuits. And I thought it might be trying to finish the job. But now I see you weren't trying to hurt the superintendent. You were trying to fix it. Oni calls them engineers. Believes they're some sort of biological supercomputers. If I'm right, this one has taken the superintendent's data and combined it with its own. Everything we want to know about the Covenant, what they're looking for into the city, is right in here. Damn! Buggers must have raised the alarm. Buck!
Veronica? Where the hell are you?
Data center, but we're coming out.
We?
No time to explain, but do not, I repeat, do not shoot anything pink.
Whatever you say, just come on!
Those brutes are here for the engineer. They'll kill it if they get the chance. You, stay behind me, okay? The engineer still has shields, but they won't last long in a firefight. Take point, clear a path to Buck.
Okay, so there are a couple things you need to realize about this section. Number one, the engineer will provide you with an overshield unless you get too far away, so stick near it. Number two, the engineer has a recharging energy shield, so even if it takes some damage, it's not like he's permanently hurt. As a corollary to that, the engineer's shield recharges almost instantly as soon as he's not taking any fire. And number three is that the grunts on those plasma turrets are pretty much the only enemies that can kill the engineer, so take them out first. As soon as they're down, you should have nothing to worry about in terms of keeping the engineer alive. The only reason you'll die is if you get too far ahead of him and lose your overshield. As for the rest of them, you should be able to just steamroll through them with the gravity hammer.
Rookie, I could use a hand over here. Come on. Veronica! Over here! Hurry!
And that is about going to do it for this gravity hammer. It's almost out of ammo, so swap that out for a brute shot.
This is our exit, Rookie. Head through the door.
We've got to get out of here. Move it, Trooper.
You're going to find some drones on the ceiling here. Take them out with the brute shot, but don't reload the brute shot. If you expend all your ammo in the clip, just switch to the carbine.
About this, asset. Feel free to fill me in whenever.
Not now,
Whoa, easy does it, Rookie.
You can find health packs down here, but you shouldn't need one thanks to your overshield.
Door's locked. Damn.
Don't worry. We have a key.
I've seen hundreds of these things today. Why is this one so important?
This engineer knows what the Covenant's after. If I could safely capture more of them, I would. What they know could win the war.
Oh.
You haven't killed any of them, have you?
No! Well, maybe one or two.
Nice work.
How was I supposed to know?
One last encounter here, a couple more drones on the ceiling. The brute shot is very effective against drones. Any that you miss will retreat back through the doorway. You're probably going to be out of or very low on brute shot ammo, so just use the carbine.
Elevator, come on.
And that's it. The mission will end when the engineer makes it onto the elevator.